Hi guys, I'm Nick Bester. I'm a 2:20 marathoner, a running coach, and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, I try and hang in for dear life at Kipchoge pace. It's a video and a challenge I've been wanting to do for quite some time. However, in the past few months, I haven't quite been in the shape and I didn't want to completely embarrass myself in this video. So finally, I worked into a position where I thought I can give this a good go. And yeah, it was quite something. So to a lot of people that don't really understand marathon running, often someone will say 2:20 marathon, 2-hour marathon, tomato, there's not that much difference. Let me tell you, there's a complete world of difference. And hopefully you'll see that after watching today's video. Before you see me trying to hang on for dear life and not fall off the treadmill at Kipchoge pace, I just want to take you through a range of paces. Okay, so before I absolutely smash my body to pieces on the treadmill, I decided to change my shoes into the fastest shoes I have. So I changed out of the incredible Boston 12s into my racing Pro 3s, and I needed to get fueled up for this challenge as well. So I had a Science and Sport gel and a shot of Ketone IQ. Please just be awesome and comment, like, subscribe. It helps really grow the channel. Let's go. So you're probably looking at this pace wondering what the significance is of 11:22 per kilometer or 18:18 per mile. And if you're wondering, this is the pace you need to go at to finish the London Marathon. So the cutoff for London Marathon is 8 hours from when the last person crosses the start line. So as long as you're going at this pace for 42.2 Ks or 26.2 miles, then you will finish London Marathon. Okay, on to the next pace we go. So the average marathon finishing time for runners out there is 4 hours and 21 minutes. The pace that this signifies is 6:11 per kilometer or 9:57 per mile. Okay, so this next pace is quite significant to me. When I started running back in 2013, around 11 years ago, the fastest I could run a 5K was 25:40, which signifies 5:02 per kilometer or 8:07 per mile. Once I finished, I thought, the tank is empty. I can never get faster than this. This is the fastest I could go. So I just wanted to throw back to see exactly what this pace felt like. Okay, then next onto a very common target for runners out there, a sub 20-minute 5K. This signifies 3:59 per kilometer or 6:24 per mile. Run at this pace or faster, and we'll break 20 minutes for 5K. Okay, then onto another big milestone and one of my sweetest achievements to date, breaking 17 minutes for 5Ks. So I did this after training for about 4 years of running. From 25 minutes to breaking 17, took around 4 years. And pretty much the pace that this signifies is 3:23 per kilometer or 5:28 per mile. What a sweet feeling it was. I probably tried for about 30 attempts before finally doing it. Okay, time to get into the business end of today's exercise. Kipchoge sub 2 pace. Let's crank that treadmill up to 21.1 kilometers and hang in with all we've got. So just to remind you, Kipchoge ran a marathon in 1:59:40. However, because it didn't meet the criteria of what officially counts as a marathon, it doesn't count as the official world record. But let's take nothing away from the man. He still ran a marathon, 42.2 kilometers in 1 hour, 59 minutes and 40 seconds, which is a pace of 2:50 per kilometer or 4:35 per mile for a whole marathon. Now, let's talk a little bit about Kelvin Kiptum. Kelvin Kiptum is the new kid on the block. He is smashing PBs, smashing the world record and only getting faster. In fact, a lot of us think he'll be the first marathoner to break 2 hours in an official marathon. He's running Rotterdam next. We shall see how he goes. But his current world record he did at Chicago at the end of last year in 2 hours, dead and 35 seconds. So he's got 36 seconds to shave off. Come on, Kelvin. This signifies a pace of 2:51 per kilometer or 4:36 per mile. Ultimately, the treadmill is at pretty much the same pace, 21.1 kilometers per hour. Now, I've set myself a challenge to try and hang in with all I've got for 1 mile. That means 4 minutes and 35 seconds at running at this pace. And my goal is to just not fall off the treadmill, not embarrass myself for the video. And I thought why this is a realistic goal is because 2 weeks ago, I did a road race, which was just longer than a mile. I ran at 2:53 per kilometer. So I thought this is a really good challenge. Okay, pretty much halfway through the challenge and my heart rate is 179. My heart rate max that I've ever got it to is 188. So we're heading in that direction, but we're halfway, feeling strong. It is quick, but come on, Nick, you've got this. So very rarely do I actually run on the treadmill, and most treadmills out there max out at 20 k's per hour. However, thanks to Luke and the team at the running room, this specialized treadmill goes faster than that, so it can go up to 21.1 kilometers per hour. And I'm really actually not used to that much treadmill running. I do almost all my running outside, and to be honest, when you're on a treadmill, to signify road running, you should increase the incline to 1%. That gives you pretty much the same effect and effort that you would on a road. However, for the purposes of this challenge, it's really hard. I didn't want to make it any harder than what it was. I didn't quite know how it would play out, so I just left the incline at 0%. Okay, nearing towards the end, I'm suffering, and you can always find something when you can smell and taste the finish. In my mind, I'm thinking, hang in there, Nick, you can make 1 mile. And I'm also thinking, how on earth can a human run a full marathon at this speed? It's just mind-blowing. Okay, so my heart rate maxes out at 184. I think I could have gone a little bit longer, but there's a big race season ahead. I was pretty much on my limits, and I really didn't fancy flying off the back of the treadmill and jeopardizing the rest of this year. Calvin Kiptum, Eliud Kipchoge, I salute you.
I did it. Wow. Crazy to think I'm so happy to do 1 mile at his speed, and he does 26.2 of those. Oh. All about the small wins in life. Let's go. My heart rate maxed out there at 184. The max I've got it to is 188, so maybe there was a little bit left in there. But yeah, I didn't fancy coming off the back of the treadmill. The goal was 1 mile. I got there. Next time maybe I'll try 2Ks, but yeah, it just blows my mind to think a human can run a marathon at that pace. There's a world of difference between 2:20 marathon and 2 hours sub 2. But yeah, it's good to give it a go. Okay, so we're analyzing some of the footage from our Kipchoge pace, and here it is.
Cool, so it's got 4-foot data through here. So you see Nick's actually quite balanced. This is percentage of body weight. It's 2.5 times body weight going through the 4-foot with each step, which we're going to expect when we're running, world record speed. We want to get these numbers within 10%, so I'll say Nick's doing pretty well, considering that was an all-out effort. Our pressure plot through here, so 4-foot striking, okay, the big hot spot, pushing through, the plate of the shoe helping us out through there as well. I know that cadence is often a big thing people talk about with running, so we're looking at something above 190, so 180 was always said to be the magic number, but to run these sort of paces has to be a little bit faster, so it's the legs turning over. And then we look at overall force coming through, so it's 203 kilos to 196 kilos, so a little bit of asymmetry coming through, just hitting the ground a little bit harder on the left side. So we've got the foot hitting the ground here, rolling through, and then big push-off, so nice and smooth rolling off the shoe.
You're 21, and you never had this feeling. Shake your pulse, it's not the answer, just keep